Hi there, and welcome back to Blue Ocean English and some more grammar on the moon. In this video we will look at the past simple. I will show you how you can learn to speak using the past simple very well, and how you can go outside in your world and practice. We use the past simple to describe something that is finished, something that is before now. For example, yesterday, last year, or 1974. When you learn the past simple, there are three different things that you must learn. First, there is the verb to be. Second, there are regular verbs, verbs that end with an ed, and irregular verbs. First, we will look at the verb to be. So for the verb to be, we use was and were in the past simple. So for example, in the positive, we would say, I was on Earth yesterday. He was on Mars last week. She was tired yesterday. You were happy last year. We were sad last month. They were hungry yesterday. It, the moon, it was closer to Earth a long time ago. And for the negative, I was not on Earth yesterday. He was not on Mars last week. She was not tired yesterday. You were not happy last year. We were not sad last month. They were not hungry yesterday. And it, the moon, it was not blue a long time ago. And for the question, was I on Earth yesterday? Was he on Mars last week? Was she tired yesterday? Were you happy last year? Were we sad last month? Were they hungry yesterday? Was it, the moon, was it closer to Earth a long time ago? So that's the verb to be in the past simple. Now we will look at regular verbs. So regular verbs are verbs that end with an ed. At the end of the verb, we put ed. One thing to remember about these verbs, you only change the verb in the positive form. In the negative, we use didn't, and in the question, we use did. So we only make a change in the positive form. So we will use yesterday for all of these examples. So in the positive, yesterday, I changed my car. He moved house. She danced a lot. You worked. We saved money. They laughed. It helped me. And in the negative, again yesterday, I didn't change my car. He didn't move house. She didn't dance a lot. You didn't work. We didn't save money. They didn't laugh. It didn't help me. And then the question form, again for yesterday, did I change my car? Did he move house? Did she dance a lot? Did you work? Did we save money? Did they laugh? Did it help me? Now I'm going to quickly talk about the pronunciation of regular verbs. So the pronunciation of ed verbs in the past simple. Many people have problems with the pronunciation of these verbs, so I'll just quickly explain and show you the rules, and then show you how you can find it online and you can learn it yourself. Firstly, you can search online. If you search ESL pronunciation ed verbs or regular verbs, and you'll find lots of things like this. Just when you search, I don't know why, but it's better to use Bing. It's quicker and easier than searching on Google to find these images. So here we have a table of the rules for the pronunciation of ed verbs. The first thing to say is these strange symbols, they're phonetic symbols. They're for pronunciation. Most of you don't know these, but if you're serious about learning English, you must learn to use these symbols. These will help you with both pronunciation, speaking, but also with your listening if you know these. How can you be serious about learning to speak English if you don't learn how to make the sounds that we use when we speak English? Speaking English is not the same as saying English words in your accent. Speaking like me is not the same. So phonetic symbols let you see the pronunciation. You can write it, remember it, and it changes everything. You can watch my series on pronunciation and these symbols and learn how to use them all perfectly well. These videos will help you with your listening and your speaking. So these 2 pages are from my book on pronunciation and how to learn these symbols. You can find this on Amazon. It's called An Ocean of English Pronunciation. So here you can see the groups of regular verb pronunciation. So the first group we have are verbs, and you can see up here, these are verbs that end with an id sound, like need, needed, or wanted. So it's an id sound. So we have 2 groups of verbs that make that sound. The first is regular verbs that end with a t sound. So you can see here, accept, accepted, chat, t, chatted, want, wanted, wait, waited. So the normal infinitive form of the verb ends with a t. And remember, these are sounds, not letters. So it's a t sound. And then verbs that end with a d. So, for example, need, needed, sound, d, sounded, demand, demanded, decide, decided. And you can see the last one, decide, it ends with a d sound, not a d letter. So these are the 2 groups of verbs that are regular, that make the id sound at the end. And then we have verbs that make the t sound at the end. So for example, helped or washed. So here we've got different groups of verbs, and in total there are 7 sounds. So remember, these are the end sound of the verb in the infinitive form. So first we've got F and S. So for example, laugh, laughed, stuff, stuffed, and then a S sound, dance, danced, kiss, kissed. And then in the middle we've got P, K, and X. Verbs that end in those sounds, for example, help, helped, or look, looked, fix, fixed, mix, mixed. And then the last group, we've got sh and ch. Verbs in this group, for example, wash, washed, watch, watched. So they're the 7 sounds at the end of the verb that make the t sound with the ed pronunciation. And then the last group is basically all the other sounds. These make the d sound at the end of the verb. For example, phoned, changed. So it's a d sound. So we've got different groups here. We've got the l and the n sound, the r and the j, v, m, g, th, and then the z, b, ing, and j sound. And you can see some examples. So here we've got call, called, phone, phoned, changed. A bit lower down we've got climbed, arrived, grabbed, belonged. So all with the d sound. Now we will look at irregular verbs. If you want to find an irregular verb table, you can search online ESL irregular verb table. Go to images, you'll find lots of images of these tables. So the irregular verb list is very important to learn for 3 different reasons. Firstly, there are many very common verbs that are irregular verbs, so you will need these verbs a lot. Secondly, there are not many tables or rules to learn in English. So here is one, so make the effort to learn the one we have and learn it well. And the third reason, this is not so obvious, but I'll ask you a question. Here are 3 verbs, and my question is, are they regular or irregular verbs? So the 3 verbs are to stroll, to plug, and to grab. I'll explain what they mean in a minute, but just think, are they ed verbs? Are they irregular? How do you know? How can you know? So to stroll is to walk slowly somewhere without a clear direction, like we stroll around the shops maybe. It doesn't matter where we're going. To plug is to put something into an electrical system, the action of putting a plug into the wall, into the socket. And to grab is to take something quickly in your hand, maybe take it aggressively. So they're all ed verbs, they're all regular. The problem is, there's no way to know if a new verb is regular or irregular. The only way you will ever know this is if you learn all the verbs on the irregular verb list, and then when you see a new verb, if it's not on the irregular verb list that you know, then you know it is an ed verb. It cannot be irregular because you know all the irregular. And again, with irregular verbs, we're only changing in the positive form. In the negative, we use didn't, and in the question, we use did, and the verb doesn't change, it's just in the infinitive form. So we're only changing for the past simple irregular verbs in the positive. So first we'll look at the positive, and we'll use last week for all these examples. So last week I bought a computer. She ate a pizza. He drank a beer. You read a book. We ran on the moon. They sang a song. And in the negative, last year, I didn't buy a computer. She didn't eat a pizza. He didn't drink a beer. You didn't read a book. We didn't run on the moon. They didn't sing a song. And for the question, last weekend, did I buy a computer? Did she eat a pizza? Did he drink a beer? Did you read a book? Did we run on the moon? Did they sing a song? Now we're going to try using any. So positive, negative, question, mix them all together. So we'll use yesterday for all these examples. We'll start with the verb to be. So the question, was he happy? Yes, he was happy. No, he wasn't happy. Were they on Mars? Yes, they were on Mars. No, they weren't on Mars. Was I on Earth? Yes, I was on Earth. No, I wasn't on Earth. And then with regular verbs, so we'll use last month. Did she dance? Yes, she danced. No, she didn't dance. Did you watch a video? Yes, you watched a video. No, you didn't watch a video. Did it move? Yes, it moved. No, it didn't move. And for irregular verbs, we'll use in 2009. Did she go to school? Yes, she went to school. No, she didn't go to school. Did he write a book? Yes, he wrote a book. No, he didn't write a book. Did you run a lot? Yes, I ran a lot. No, I didn't run a lot. Now I'll show you with a walking tour video clip. So this one's from Paris. All you need to do is search on YouTube for walking tour Paris, and you can find lots of videos like this. Here's a picture from near the Arc de Triomphe, lots of people walking across the road. In English we call this a zebra crossing, like the animal. I will use yesterday for all the examples. So the idea here is that we're looking at this picture and we're imagining what happened for these people or places or things yesterday. So we'll start with the verb to be. So yesterday, she was in Madrid. She wasn't in Paris. It, the bike, it was locked. It, the street, it was quieter. He was tired. Was she happy? Were they here? And for regular verbs, again yesterday, she called her husband. He didn't answer. They walked a lot. They didn't visit a museum. Did she walk a lot? Did they visit a museum? And for irregular verbs, last month, she spoke French. She didn't speak English. He bought a bag. He didn't buy a hat. They slept a lot. They didn't run. Did you sleep a lot? Did he buy something? Now we'll go to the Van Gogh Cafe so I can show you how you can go outside in a cafe-like situation and practice speaking using the past simple in your world. Are you ready? Let's go! So remember here the idea is that you go somewhere like a cafe or your favourite place and practice using your English, speaking, describing the things that you can see with a bit of imagination. Use your world to learn to speak real English. So we're going to use the positive, negative question combination, any, and I'll talk about things that we can see in the painting. So first with the verb to be for yesterday. Was he busy? Yes, he was busy. No, he wasn't busy. Were they here? Yes, they were here. No, they weren't here. Was it the horse? Was it tired? Yes, it was tired. No, it wasn't tired. And for regular verbs, we'll use last year. Did they paint the door blue? Yes, they painted the door blue. No, they didn't paint the door blue. Did they visit this cafe? Yes, they visited this cafe. No, they didn't visit this cafe. Did he live in Germany? Yes, he lived in Germany. Or no, he didn't live in Germany. And then finally, with irregular verbs. So here we'll use last year. Did she come here? Yes, she came here. No, she didn't come here. Did he buy a horse? Yes, he bought a horse. No, he didn't buy a horse. Did it break? Yes, it broke. No, it didn't break. Okay, that's the end of today's lesson on the past simple. Don't forget to go outside, practice using these phrases in your world, learn to use English in your real world. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. Here we are, just another typical English summer day. Just before I go, it's just me doing everything here at Blue Ocean English. So if you like what I'm doing and you want to see more, please don't forget to leave a comment. Maybe you have an idea for a video or a nice background picture that you'd like to see, or share this video with a friend. The best way for you to say thank you is to hit the like and subscribe buttons and check out my merchandise, all the nice things you can buy, t-shirts, hats. You can also check out our great books on Amazon. There's 3 phrasal verb books, An Ocean of English phrasal verbs, each book with 200 examples, a lovely picture and 3 clear examples of how we use each phrase. And then 3 books for idioms. They're called An Ocean of English Idioms. Also 3 books with 600 idioms, 200 in each book, all with a picture and 3 clear examples of how we use each idiom. Thank you very much for watching, and wherever you are, try to feel English today.
The boy with a thorn in his side, behind the hatred there lies a murderous desire for love. How can they look into my eyes and still they don't believe me? How can they hear me say those words, still they don't believe me? And if they don't believe